This is an axle. It's a bent axle. And if you don't change out your bent axles, you end up just buying tires all the time because it eats them up. So we are headed up to Round Rock, Texas, and we're gonna get this axle replaced hopefully today. So let's go. All right, we have arrived here at Princess Craft RV, and they had me unhinged. That's a good sign, which means they're gonna go ahead and get us right on back. We're gonna get that front axle taken off. So I'm out here in the shop at Princess Craft, and right here, that is the new axle, Dexter axle. We're gonna replace this front axle because if you remember, Avalon RV said the front axle was bent, the back axle was fine. But for those of you that follow us, you remember, this is the tire, this rear axle tire that we had the issue with last summer. Well, guess what? Both axles have an issue because this tire, this is that brand new tire from June of last year. So this tire only probably has, we'll go 15,000 miles, if that, on it. This thing is already bald on the inside. So we actually have an issue on both axles. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna go ahead and they are gonna go ahead and get this new axle put on this front one, and then they're gonna go ahead and process the back axle. So now we gotta figure out how we get back to Texas again. Now I'm sure you're wondering, Patrick, why is this tore apart on the rear axle when you're replacing the front axle? And that's because they are checking everything here at Princess Craft like a good service department should. We have a brake that isn't working. In fact, maybe hasn't been working in a long time. So they are gonna take a brake assembly off of the axle that we're replacing. They're gonna rebuild this so they can at least get us back on the road. Eventually this whole axle is gonna get replaced, but in the meantime, we've gotta be safe going down the road. Let me show you another issue. Here on video, to the naked eye, this may not look like much. A year ago, we had been at Lippert and they had fixed our slide out because remember, it had been installed wrong at the manufacturer and it bound up and destroyed the whole mechanism. But we have a bigger issue now. It's actually pulling away from the wall, even though Lippert had reinforced it. So we're gonna have to get this worked on. Not today, but soon. I think this is one of the things about RVing I absolutely hate the most is it doesn't matter how much money you spend, you're gonna have issues. Plain and simple. So I guess all you can really do is just kind of take a deep breath, relax, and try to figure out a solution. I really, really appreciate the crew here at Princess Craft. They are working hard, trying to make sure we're safe to get home, and then we'll figure a long-term plan. As much as there's part of me that says I gotta just buy a new RV today, it's just a whole new set of problems. This is the axle they took off. They were gonna try to salvage parts here to fix the brakes on the front axle, but he just told me this is fried. So basically we didn't have trailer brakes, I guess. I don't know. Luckily they have the part. Here's the parts they took off of this right back here. You can see how rusted they are. This isn't even 2 years old. One new axle, brakes are working now. Still have some tires that we need to go find replacements for. Now we just wait, find out what will be covered on the slide out and also that second axle, but there's nothing we can do today. So at this point, we just go ahead and hitch on, head out, and I think we're still gonna head to the beach. You know, it's funny because either people say I sugarcoat everything or people say I do nothing but complain. I don't even know how I feel right now. This really just gets frustrating. And you know what? I've been doing this for 17 years. I can't imagine if you just bought your first RV this year, how you must feel. So all I will say is never quit on a bad day. It'll get better.